you. Thank you very much for the great audience. That one's called Some Enchanted Evening. My name is Tim the Piano Man. Remember, if you have a request, just write it on something small like a $100 bill and put it in my pocket. Of course, you could always just raise your hand. That works too. That works too. Here's some more music. Hope you enjoy. great audience, that's some boogie woogie for y'all. My name is Tim the Piano Man. Here's another one I hope you enjoy. I think I got time for one or two more.
My name's Tim the Piano Man. I got time for just one more today, just one more song. Here it is, folks. Thank you all for being here. That was so much fun. My name's Tim the Piano Man. Thank you for watching. I got a lot of requests, but I was on a roll, and those of you who have seen me before know that when I play, usually I play at retirement communities and health and rehabs. It was a health and rehab today. And I can't always see your requests, and if I know your request and I see it, sometimes it's not always appropriate for me to play for the seniors. I was playing a lot of ragtime and blues and boogie woogie today because that piano was really out of tune, and those genres were really the ones that worked the best. But yeah, the piano was really out of tune. But I had fun. I thought it was like a nice sort of kind of cowboy, saloon, Wild West vibe to it. Hey, where are you from? I am from the United States, particularly Memphis in the state of Tennessee. Where are you from? All right, I'm going to read through the comments now. I had a lot of people joining me today, so this might take a little while. I do make sure that if I have time, I'll read through the comments. Ben is my name, says hello. Hello, Ben. Thank you for joining. User says hi. Jayesh says subscribed. Are you happier now? That sounds a little passive-aggressive, but I'm grateful that you subscribed. Thank you very much. Megan Carter says hi. Enlighten says, damn good playing, bro. Thank you. Sean Acosta says, nice. Seeing through songs. Requests Love's Sorrow. I don't know that one. Love Sorrow? Y'all comment if you know Love Sorrow, and if I should learn it. By the way, my request list is so long, and I don't currently have a studio. Part of what I'm doing is I'm building my subscriber base to get my watch time up so that I can finance a studio. It's a long journey, but it's a good goal. Thank you for subscribing, everybody. Simply Dubum says, bro is good. You do request. Said hi. Yes, I do requests, but they're not guaranteed. And because I play mostly at retirement communities and health and rehabs, the requests don't always get played. First, I need to see them. Second, I need to know them. And third, it needs to be appropriate for those gigs. So it's not always appropriate for the seniors that I entertain. It's Faz said hi. Thank you very much. Simply Dubum says he's really cool with it. Thank you. Thank you. Y'all are talking about me and making me blush. Sean Acosta says he makes it look fun too. I have a lot of fun playing piano, especially with that out-of-tune piano today. That was a lot of fun, and it was supple. It was like butter. It's easy to play. Super Ninja 87, welcome back. Damn, Tim is really good at piano. Oh, thank you very much. You're too kind. I swear Tim is aura farming right now. Aura farming. Well, I don't know. That's the first I heard that term. That's a cool term. Kind of like it. It's Faz says, yeah, all right, thank you very much. Would love if he did request. I explained that already, my request. Plup E says, O cara toca muito bem. My Portuguese is really not good enough to know what that means. James Larimore says, why are the keys backwards? The reason that the keys are backwards is because I have the screen facing me, so I can look at my time, look at my requests, and that's why. So it's mirrored. But if you look at my videos, not the live videos, but the long form videos, I started publishing my live streams, and then I reverse them when I publish them in the long form video in my YouTube channel. Addicted to Gaming says, yo, hey, thanks for joining. Simply Dubum, he speaks. Yes. Yeah, so it's cheesy, and I talk to the audience of the seniors that I'm entertaining, and it's fun. I like what I do. Sean Acosta says, feels like I'm in a saloon. Yeah, you and me too. That's kind of the vibe. When the piano is that out of tune, I have to play like Wild West, boogie woogie, or ragtime, mostly. Maple Leaf is my favorite. Yeah, I was doing Maple Leaf. Ploop E says, K Masa. I wish I knew what that is. Addicted to Gaming says, can you play Bella Chai? I think he mean Bella Ciao, but I did learn that one once. I don't know it off the top of my head. But that's a good song, and I'm part Italian too, so I feel that one in my blood. Simply Dubum says, why I outa music? I'm not sure what that means. James Larimore says, seriously though, why is the right hand playing bass and left hand on melody? This is so strange to look at. You must be a piano player. Yes, it is strange to look at, and like I explained, I released the, I released the recordings of the live streams in long form videos, and I started correcting that. So watch for today's date on the live stream and the time, Central Standard Time, because I play multiple shows in a day. Watch for that, and it should be corrected. Simply Dublin says, you play piano, James. Yes, that was my thought as well. Enough to see that the keyboard is reversed and lets his camera thing. It is a camera thing. It was not... if I could play backwards, that would be crazy. That would be crazy. Yes, that is correct, because the text on the TV is also mirrored. Yep. Solid catch, says James Larimore. That is a solid catch. Y'all are detectives here. Y'all are very logical, very smart. Sean Acosta, now the left hand is a left hand, though. I'm not sure what that means. Ghostface Amelia says hi. Hi, Ghostface Amelia. Thank you for joining. James Larimore, I was about to go on a rabbit hole of inverted pianos. No, it's not. It was not an inverted piano. It is the camera. It's the mirrored thing. But if you're talking inverted pianos, look up Joe Zawinul from Weather Report. They're a fusion band, a very talented band from the, late 70s? When did they form? 80s? I can't remember. But he had some synthesizers that he reversed, and it was really very wild to watch. Amanath says, I subbed. Thank you very much. Simply pointed out the text on the screen is reversed, so the camera is. Yes, that is correct. That is correct. The camera was reversed. Nope, the camera was reversed, Eddie. Even in the mirror, your left hand doesn't turn to your right hand. Yep. Y'all are funny. I appreciate this conversation. So I'm responding to the comments now. Usually I do this after my gigs. I'm a piano player. And the reason is because I can't respond while I'm playing currently, because what I'm doing for work is I'm playing piano at retirement communities. And my work is my work. When I get my studio that I'm working so hard for, when I get my studio and I can just live stream and learn all y'all's requests, then I can actually do shout outs and stuff. That's what I'm doing it right now in my car. The Real Mars TBH says, yo, thank you. James Larimore, and he's using an inverted piano. Can't be. Nope, it was not an inverted piano. Again, it is trippy to watch, says Sean Acosta. User says, well. I misspell a lot, and it's also still funny to me when things get misspelled. James Larimore, Tim's killing it though. Thank you, sir. Appreciate that. GRGMCD 2025 says, huh. User says, ALR, Tim, and then get some emojis. Thank you. Harpy says, are you playing it by memory or just freely playing whatever you feel like? Well, it's a little bit of both. I use my memory to remember melodies and chord progressions, and then I improvise on those chord progressions. Toad says, hi. Hi, Toad. Thank you for joining. Thanks for subscribing, everybody. That's memory, my guy. He's practiced these plenty for sure. It's a little bit of both. It's a little bit of both. The improvisation is mostly spontaneous, but it's like a language. The jazz language is something that I have studied for many years. I went to school for jazz piano performance in Tennessee and in the United States. And so that's something that I worked on. I haven't practiced in a while because I've been doing this professionally and I don't have my studio again. But it's a mix of memory and improvisation. Jana Alarar says, I subbed, thank you. Spendy Gaming says, really, hey, thank you. Mango says, is this Pat and Matt, or am I wrong? Well, if you're talking to me, you are wrong on both counts, because I am Tim the Piano Man. Zana Strawberry said, hi, thank you for joining, Zana. Peachy Candy says, yo, you're actually so good at piano. Thank you, appreciate it. James Larimore, he's got a good deceptive cadence face. What does that mean? I know what a deceptive cadence is. But what is a deceptive cadence face? Do you mean a face I make when I implement a deceptive cadence? Is that what you mean? Because that is hilarious. That is hilarious. A deceptive cadence face. Or do you mean that my face is deceptive? I don't know, but that's really funny. I'm so glad that a fellow musician commented that. Multipie says, hi Tim, are you doing requests? So I haven't given this spiel in a little while. My request process is, because I play piano at retirement communities and health and rehabs, if I look down and I see your request while I'm playing, Number one, I have to see it. Number two, I have to know it. Number three, it has to be appropriate for the seniors that I entertain for a living. So I play piano for seniors, and all three of those things have to line up currently. Although when I get my studio, it's going to change. Peachy Candy, thank you for the emojis. Multi-Pie says it's fine. James Larimore, seems he's playing a set just glancing at a chat. Yes, that is true. That is true. Thank you for joining, by the way. Appreciate your perspective, Mr. Larimore. Appreciate you. Multi-Pie says, fair. It doesn't matter. I was just wondering. I mean, if you get him to play Through the Fire and the Flames on piano, that'd be pretty cool. Through the Fire and the Flames. I don't know that off the top of my head. Ragtime is sitting well. He has an older crowd. Very perceptive again, sir. Very perceptive again. It is an older crowd. Multi-Pie says, ooh, I was thinking about Madeline May, but I don't know if her songs are playable on piano, but bro is killing it. Thank you, Multi-Pie. And I'm not familiar with Madeline May, although I've heard of her now because I read your comment. Probably wouldn't know her, though. Yeah, again, y'all are so smart. She's really a new artist, and she has so many layers of effects and layers on her voice, it'd be impossible to replicate alone. Interesting. Although I do like a challenge. If I set out to learn a request, most of the time I will learn it. I've learned some pop stuff recently. Golden Hour, the song by New Direction from 10 years ago called... What is that one called? Night something. I forget, but I know the song. I remember the song. That's why I'm skeptical. What songs are you going to ask for? Multi-Pie says, I don't know much of her chords. Okay. Sometimes when there's it seems like there's a private conversation in the chat, just two people going back and forth, I don't always read that out because it feels a little weird to do that. But thank you for commenting. Thank you for subscribing as well. Let's see. Bastu Cat 5003 says, he is not a girl. Very perceptive. Yes, that is correct. But I don't know why that's relevant, but that's correct. Avash Mashiri, what's on the TV? Oh, I don't even remember. I don't even remember. Let's see, I haven't seen him sing. I think he's strictly on the ivories. Another correct answer. That is another correct answer. You have summed up my stage presence, my stage craft very well so far. Mushvu says, you play wonderfully, sir. Thank you, Mushvu. Appreciate you. Who is the audience? Says Multi-Pie. It is seniors at a retirement community. Actually, this is a health and rehab in particular. Magdalene Mugere says, nice skills. Thank you. James Larimore says, I'm sure something could be arranged for the May song. It's not like there's a piano score for it. Yeah, my request list is very long and there's no guarantee, but by the way, if you comment a request, then it is in the ether and I have access to it. So when I get my studio and I have time to go through the request, if you request it in the chat, then it is officially logged. Bunny says, great song. Mark Lindsay, thanks for joining, says, wow, amazing. Bunny says, it's so good. Mark Lindsay says, you made my day better. Oh, thanks, guys. That means a lot to me. Multi-Pie, exactly. I'm sure she used piano in at least one of her songs. Doesn't seem easy to replicate. Well, I like a good challenge. The only request that I have flat out denied to play so far is Miku Miku Beam. I think that there's a very robust fandom around that song, but I'm not going to play it because I don't think I can replicate that on the piano. Also, the lyrics are very important, and I don't sing professionally. All right. Preppy Child says, I subbed. Thank you for subscribing, Preppy Child. Can you do Russian dance? I don't know that off the top of my head, says Cat. No, I mean, Cat says, can you do Russian dance? I say, I don't know that off the top of my head. Fulton says, I subbed, bro. Thank you very much. Multi-Pie, well, we got to see. Tim, next celebrity. I'm not chasing celebrity. I'm not chasing fame. What I am chasing is success defined by royalty income, subscribers, watch time on my YouTube, selling my compositions, my sheet music, timthepianomanstore.com. By the way, if you're a piano player, check out timthepianomanstore.com for my sheet music. And and income. I play a lot of gigs. I play about 60 gigs a month. And so those are my criteria for success. If celebrity and fame lends itself to achieving those goals, then that's fine by me, but I don't seek fame and the spotlight because I'm kind of a shy person. I'm kind of shy. Anybody else shy? I don't really like the spotlight. I don't thrive on the spotlight. I'll do it because it's part of my job, though. James Larimore says, hell, I'd go see him in concert. Thank you very much. By the way, I'm scrolling through these comments, and they're from, 20 minutes ago. So if you're still watching, then I will get to your comment eventually, if you're still commenting. James Larimore says, hell, I'll go to see him in concert. Where are you located, sir? I would like to know where my fans are. Dottie Danelia says, Fulton, best. Not sure. Vesper and Milk Cookie says, play Shadow Milk's theme song. I don't know what that is, but your request is logged. Mushfu, sing us a song near the piano. And then sent it without writing, man. Sheila Gentry says, Rush E, please. I get a lot of requests for Rush E. It's not always appropriate for me to play that at retirement communities where I play. But I still need to work on that one. But I know that song roughly. Mushfu says, man, James Larimore, law, you're the piano, Tim. Thank you. Dana Lupascu says, I just subscribed. Lupascu, is that a Romanian name? Piano Lover says, hi, thank you for joining. Dang, bro, I'm a piano channel and I don't even have that skill. Thank you, Piano Lovers, but I'm close. Hey, I appreciate that. I appreciate the respect. That means a lot to me. Y'all subscribe to Piano Lovers if you like piano. Piano Lovers. James Larimore, ragtime is hard for me. What a groove he feels. Thank you. Piano Lovers, that's true only because you need your left hand as much as to keep up with the right hand. I started playing ragtime for a couple reasons. One of them is that I started playing at retirement communities, and a lot of them, the majority, didn't tune their pianos properly. So I started thinking, well, what's a genre that would actually sound good on an out-of-tune piano? Ragtime is the one that fits the bill, but there are others. Some blues, some boogie-woogie fits the bill as well. And then I had a friend who was obsessed with ragtime, and he started telling this story about ragtime. He said that he would start booking me at some of his events, he's an event planner. And that never panned out, but I did learn a bunch of ragtime, and I still play it, and I love it. It's great for a piano player because it focuses so much on right-left-hand syncopation. And ragtime is the father of stride piano, which lends itself well to jazz interpretations as well. So learning ragtime is something that I don't regret at all. James says, a lot of classical, he has so much separation of hands they can act with each other with a super coordinated way. Y'all are making me blush. Thank you. Sheila Gentry says, Rushy, yeah, I didn't play that one today. Sometimes I will consider my interpretation. I haven't learned it note for note yet, though. Interesting. I think that a Korean friend, I think that is Korean commenter, and I don't know how to read that script, says, can you play Him for the Weekend, piano Coldplay, please? I don't know Him for the Weekend. Interesting, but thank you for that request. I'll put that on my list. Chef's Choice says, please, Harry Potter theme. I didn't see that one in time. I do like that. I probably could have worked that in somewhere, but yeah, that's a good one. James Larimore, never realized Take Me Out to the Ball Game was a waltz. Yeah, it's 3/4. It is 3/4 time. Megalovania, then I will sub, says Josh Ledger. A good deal, but I don't know that one. I get a lot of requests for that, though. That is on my radar. No guarantee for when that's going to happen, though. Can you please play Him for the Weekend? Piano Coldplay, please. Sorry I didn't see that in time. Can you play Moonlight Sonata, the second movement? Well, that's interesting. I've never gotten a request for the second movement before. Usually it's the third movement, but I don't know that note for note. I do have an interpretation, but it's not note for note. Even a little is enough, please, says... Yeah, I'm sorry, not Necro. I don't know that one off the top of my head. I'm not currently doing requests because what happens... Oh, bye, James. Thank you for joining. What happens is when I do a request, I have to see it, I have to know it, and it has to be appropriate for my audience because I play for seniors. A lot of requests for Rush E, Menti. Where are you from? USA, really? Yes. By the way, what is your name? My name's Tim the Piano Man. Bam Herger Memes, what's up, man? Not gonna lie, but I'm a new fan. Hey, can you still play Count on Me? That would make my day. Thank you, Bam Herger Memes. I like your name. I don't know that song. Count on Me. Count on Me. It sounds so familiar, though. Y'all got a lot of requests today. Ubax Nurse says hi. Thank you for joining. Hey says hello for Brazil. Brooke. Hey, Brooke. Thank you. Hin Ai Shui says GG. Thank you. Phil says, do you believe in God? Sometimes I get into religious and spiritual and philosophical questions, but I'm not going to do that today. Hi, I'm learning piano, says Bamherger Means. Thank you. Ubaxner says hi. Thank you. Shout outs now. Learning piano and the English. Oh, good, good. Keep it up. Music is a universal language. English is quite universal as well, to be honest. Dev Abji says hello, subbed. Thank you. Thank you very much. Narek Nahapetian says hello. How are you doing? I'm doing well, thanks. How are you doing? Trying to play Glob Glob Galagab. I never gotten a request for a song called Glob Glob Galagab, but I'm curious now. It's on my radar. My request list is very long, and I am so busy these days I haven't gotten a chance to chip away at it. Jotaro Kujo, hi, thank you for joining again. Debeb G says, you good pianist, good luck, Mr. Tim the pianist. Thank you very much. Rebel Pop says hi, or Robel Pops. Do you remember the Giorno theme request? I don't remember that one, but if you comment it, then it's in my records, so it's there. Miku, yeah, I got a request for Miku Beam. I'm not doing that one, though. What will you do if I sent you $1,000? I would say, thank you. Jotaro Kujo, person. I'm Arab. Oh, good. Jotaro says, bro, hi, bro, Giorno theme. It's on my radar, but my request list is long, and I haven't chipped away at it yet. I don't have my studio yet. Sam Yen says, hello, nice to meet you again. Hello from Russia. Thank you very much. All right, I got to the bottom of the comments. It took me like 20 minutes. That was crazy. What I'm doing now is I am leaving this community that I played in, I entertained, I played for seniors at a retirement community, and let's see, what should we do next? My next gig isn't until 2 p.m., I think. I'm gonna go to a thrift store. I have a little bit of extra time. I like thrifting. Although I've been so focused on playing gigs and booking as many gigs as possible and dialing in that process, I've been so focused on that I haven't really sold anything on eBay. Last year I sold some stuff on eBay and made a little profit, and that was fun, but the amount of time that it took away from all my other free time. And so in my free time these days, I am working on creating courses and teaching piano players how to play piano at retirement communities, because it's very specific. You know, there's some musicians that get booed at retirement communities. They can be a tough crowd. Imagine getting booed at a retirement community. It can be pretty demoralizing. But the number one reason I'll share with y'all, the number one reason is being too loud. Some musicians will get in there and they'll be like, let's wake these people up. Well, that's the wrong attitude. They will boo you and you will not get asked back. And it's unfortunate, but you have to really have some restraint when playing for seniors, because you can actually hurt them. Like, you can hurt their ears. We don't want to hurt anybody in the music business. We don't want to do that. We want to entertain, and the way to entertain seniors properly is doing so at a proper volume. It takes some getting used to. As a piano player, I'll share another one of my secrets. What I do is I lay my left foot on the damper pedal sometimes for the entire show. The damper pedal softens the volume, and I don't open up pianos. Sometimes some piano players will open up a piano because it gets great resonance. But that can send these beams of high volume piano music directly at seniors' ears, and it can hurt them. We're not hurting people out here. We are entertaining. So that's why I do that. All right, y'all, I got to this thrift store. Thank you for joining on my live stream. My live stream. My live stream. Nope, I'm not going to be doing any live streaming today. Just live streaming. Bro, Jotaro, thanks for joining. Thank you, Marcy. I appreciate y'all so much. I am going to end this live stream, but I'm doing another one later today. I have 3 more gigs today, by the way. 3 more gigs for you to tune into if you're interested. Be sure to check them out, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.